What's up? I have a rather important video for you today. It is going to be another doom and gloom type video. I apologize, it's dark. But this is the only way you can see me, so it's kind of like scary. But I don't plan it to be like that. Anyways, I don't want to make this video very long. I want you to pay attention to something. I'm not saying this is 100% fact and it's 100% going to happen soon, but there's something that's arise, and it's going to affect us all very, very soon. I don't want to dive into it exactly. I just want to give you perspectives first. Something that can get you to understand what's going on. I've definitely talked about in the past racial division. I've talked about turn off your TV, right versus left, that they're all bullshitting you guys, and they want a civil war. I've talked about this for a while. It's not something that I've been talking about much as of late. The last doom and gloom video I had was, I think, the North Korea thing. But this is rather important, and this is definitely more relevant. Because at least with the North Korea thing, I was basically like, dude, there's nothing to this. Just fucking relax. Don't fall into the trap. When I was talking about the Russia thing, where I said, hey, if there's still this thing going on in Syria, in the Middle East, in Russia, this could totally lead into a World War III, and that's rather important to understand that that's going to destroy us all. However, there's an agenda, and I want to tell you about the agenda right here in the domestic country of the United States. Domestically, we have an issue. We are setting up for a civil war. This setup is not good for a lot of people, for everybody involved. The left versus the right. The left has been trying to, and a lot of people believe this is just like them trying to pick up votes and shit like that. Yes and no. I think the importance here is that the left is trying to find people like blacks, gays, Hispanics to join them, which is probably about 20% of the country, tops of these three groups. And of course, they want white people, which is the predominant race in this country. They want a bunch of white people to join them as well. They want to, I'm talking about the left here, the left wants to disarm the right. Because obviously, if there was a war to go down, the left would get slaughtered. The left have little to no guns, firearms. The right has all the firearms, and they pretty much picked a side. The white people generally has picked a side, where the Democrats want the blacks, the Hispanics, the quote-unquote minorities, the gays. They get these people because they need the numbers. Now, I think it's well obvious that Black Lives Matter, Antifa, shit like that is being funded by the powers that be on the left. Soros, the Clintons, etc., right? The Rothschilds even have been putting their money towards it. Maybe not finances, but they've been putting effort into it. One way or the other. Aligning the people that will put money into it. And there's a huge group called Antifa and Black Lives Matter that don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter and Antifa. They're set up to recruit people for the Civil War. Seriously, wake up to this. I'm looking out for black people, Hispanics, and gays when I'm making this video. Don't fall for the left. This bullshit, the racial division shit, which, watch my video on racial division, watch my video on white privilege. This shit's all made up. And it's all drowned and put together by the tears of white folk. Right? So, they want these groups, these minorities, to fight the civil war for them, for the Democrats, so they can win the country. Understand this. This is very fucking critical. They have never, ever won the vote without cheating the people. Ever. The Democrats I'm talking about. I'm not Republican. I'm not on the right. So understand that. But the Democrats are lining you up to be slaughtered in a war where 80% of the people and guns are going to demolish the other side. They're setting up for this division. They're recruiting for the slaughter. The Democrats are not trying to take this easy. They're literally trying to disarm the right and set up for a takeover of the country. And I don't mean the Barack Obama takeover where they cheated the people with a Barack Obama figure. I'm talking about they're trying to recruit blacks, Hispanics, Asians, whites even. They're trying to recruit hardcore right now and play on everyone's emotions, especially the white man's tears, to get people to be politically on the left. Now, I'm not a political guy. I am 100% an anarchist. I do not agree with the left, the right, the ups or the downs. I agree with freedom. I believe in voluntary transactions. I believe in freedom. Just altogether freedom. Freedom from the clutches of the mafia called government. But the right have been playing it straightforward, being pretty damn truthful about shit. You know, we want our guns, we want our freedoms in this category, we want lower taxes. Pretty straightforward, always have been. Never really trying to cheat anybody. But the Dems cheat constantly. They pay millions of dollars a year to recruit people from foreign nations, make groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. And they're creating scenarios like, let's worry about taking a knee. Let's worry about hands up, don't shoot. Things that don't fucking matter. And they're keeping you bullshitted into this paradigm where you at least subconsciously are picking a side in the matter. They're dividing. This is called divide and conquer. This is what they did during the Civil War to bring in the central bank. That's what, well, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve was put together after the Civil War, where the people who wanted freedom, the South, the Confederates, the free people, got enslaved by the British. The North didn't know the Americans versus the Confederates. The Americans didn't realize that they are instilling a government that's going to turn out the way it did. Lots of power, lots of taxes, stuck on the always in debt scenario. Ends up becoming that your birth certificate is a certificate of slavery, legal slavery. So, yeah, if anyone believes that they're fighting against slaveries or for slavery, you're fucking misled. That's not what it was. And they're misleading you nowadays around the same type of path about you're picking sides. They're just even better at it today. And there is a divisive nature in this country. So let's say even all the blacks, 6% of the population, go to the left. Say the Hispanics, which is what, 10% of the population, go to the left. Let's say the rest, gays and whoever else, the other 4%, go to the left. That's a fifth of the population. Where less than 1% of that 5% of the population have firearms. Now, of course, not all blacks, not all Hispanics, not all minorities, let's call them, even though that's the real word, the minority of the population, even though that they aren't all going to go to the left, and there's going to be a lot on the right, well, what's going to happen? There's almost nobody that's going to fight that side with firearms. Even with George Soros putting in another $1 million, and the Clintons putting together another $1 million, and they're arming these rebels like they do in the foreign countries. The left, wake up. The left arms the rebels. Even the right, the government, both sides of war have been financially supported through history for thousands of years. They financially support both sides to get their agenda done. But in this case, they don't have to arm the right. The right's already armed. In fact, they're trying to level the playing field. Do you understand what's going on here? They want as many people on the left as possible, and they want to take away the guns of the right to equal out the playing field as much as possible. And you can see how many whites are going to the Dem side of things. They're trying to even out the playing field. But it's not even. Wake up to this. They're not going to take the right's firearms. They're not going to be able to do it. And no matter how much they arm the other left side, no matter how much they try to arm, they're going to get slaughtered. There's just too many people on the right, military personnel, rednecks, people that train in firearms for their whole life, people that don't want to give up their guns, people that want to fight for their rights, hardcore, I guess you would call them patriots and shit like that, which I'm not. So get that out of the way. I do have firearms. I do have AK-47s, M4s, Glocks. I have firearms. And I have access to shotguns and other type of sniper rifles, bolt action. I have access to all that other shit in my circle. But I'm not going to be fighting for the right. I'm not going to be fighting for the left. I'm going to be fighting for my survival. That's where you come in. Stop buying into the narrative you got to pick a side. Get out of the sides. This civil war is happening. Antifa has made a statement. I'm not saying this is 100% fact that they're actually going to go through with this, but November 4th, they're supposed to be starting their riots. November 4th, Antifa is supposed to go around and start doing whatever. I didn't really look into it, but I guess it's similar to a civil war. They're trying to start the civil war by November 4th. That's not enough time to recruit everyone on the left. They're going to be slaughtered. I mean, I don't want this. I want to avoid this. Stop picking fucking sides. Fuck race. Fuck this shit. If you're talking about race and you're not talking about that it's bullshit, you know, first off, this whole equality movement that the left is doing is all horseshit. Fuck equality. Fuck equality. A black person generally can run faster than me. He might be more funny than me, maybe more cool than me. He has qualities that I don't have. That's awesome. Embrace it. I'm a white person. Maybe I have a little bit higher IQ. Maybe I understand how to do things more at the boss type level and I'm better qualified for that. Embrace it. Fuck equality. It's impossible to make everything equal. We're all on the same equal playing field, but you might have talents. Fuck suppressing those talents to make an equal playing field. Fuck equality. Fuck this division. Let's embrace each other. This is going out generally towards the people who are diving into the left paradigm. But the right, wake up as well. Obviously, you slaughter them. Obviously. We don't have to go this route. And that's what I'm trying to figure out right now is, are people really ready to go through with this shit because the TV tells you to? Really? Because the left has been funded for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to start this civil war and this division. You think Kaepernick probably took $1 million paycheck to ruin his career? He had to take some kind of money. He knew he was ruining his career. He knew he was violating his contract. Wake up, guys. He had to have taken money. He knows something that he's not allowed to tell you. Something's going on. Now, is this just all my conspiracy mind? Sure. But if you think that there is not an intelligent, funded agenda going on right here to divide and conquer us and to start a civil war where one side is going to be slaughtered, and they want more than just 20% getting slaughtered. They want about 50% slaughtered. So then people have to bow down and accept the New World Order, where they're going to take away the rest of the guns and say our side won and pretend to be that side. No. Don't buy this bullshit. This bullshit that they're selling you. They're selling you shit. They're selling you war. They're selling you death. They're selling you gotta kill your fellow man, your neighbor. Fuck this shit. Now think of the Civil War, and then think of the Great Depression. Think of a lot of shit that is terrible that's going to be coming up right for us. The Civil War, people grew their own food. Everybody, 90-something% of people during the Civil War grew their own food. They had food everywhere. Now where's the food? Supermarkets. If there's a Civil War that goes on, you think Walmart's going to still be in business? Come on. This is going to affect everyone, even the right. Wake up. Don't get rid of your guns. Get your guns. Learn how to use them. Start fighting for peace. Peace. I know fighting for peace is like fucking for virginity, but fight. I mean, vocally speak out and think about the future generations, because that's what matters. What kind of world are you going to set up for them? In a sense, fuck you. What are you setting up for your children? That's more important. Are you setting up a world where, you know, you're going to be killing all their future friends? Could have been killing their future husband or wife? You know, are you ready to kill your fellow American, let's say? Are you? Now, I know a lot of people who are watching this are pretty much going to the tangent. What the fuck are you talking about? If you're not awake to this yet, you're probably not going to be. Now, we all take certain times where we can have things click. And we can step up to a next state of consciousness. A next state of awareness. For some people, it happens at 10 years old. Some people, 20, 30, 50, 80. But it eventually will click. Now, I'm not saying 100% a civil war is going to happen tomorrow or November 4th. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that there's a lot of evidence supporting a civil war right now. A lot of evidence. And they're trying to get you to get slaughtered. And that's who I'm talking to right now. I am also talking to the right wing, but those people who are falling for Black Lives Matter rhetoric and bullshit, which have nothing to do with nothing. You know, to a Black Lives Matter Antifa person, have you ever heard a fact? One fact. Come on, give me a fact. Never. They don't speak in fact. They speak to break you down emotionally. Remember how I made that video emotionally triggered? They want to make you triggered and them triggered on the same trigger and say that we're together now. You're on our team. They're not giving you facts to surrender to. You're surrendering to your emotional response. Come on. I'm giving you facts right now. How do you take these facts? Fuck the government. Fuck the left wing. Fuck the right wing. Fuck the Civil War. Get educated. And I don't mean fucking go to the government programming, government indoctrination camps. I'm talking about fucking get fucking wise. Think for yourself. Think reasonably, logically. Surrender to evidence. The evidence is there. There's total evidence that they're spending millions of dollars to set up a civil war. Look at your television screen. Start looking at it. Are they trying to set up a civil war? When you put on Fox News or CNN, think about the rhetoric. What are they doing? Notice that there's nobody on Fox News that watches Fox News religiously that can stand CNN. CNN can't stand Fox News. Come on, they're playing you fucking cowards. They're playing you fuckers who can't think for yourself or stand up for yourself. They're playing you. And they're playing you to fucking go into a civil war. right, it's been 20 minutes. Again, I didn't want this video to go forever. I don't like making videos at night, even though there's no one on the road. There's no one on the road, guys. No one. That's why my hands were in the air and my knee was on the wheel. Alright, so that's enough for this video. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, but it's okay because I'm an anarchist. I get hate all the time. Same thing with Christians from atheists or Muslims from Christians or whatever, right? Everyone's getting hated on. So, you know, why put your face on YouTube if you expected all fucking roses and unicorns and rainbows? I don't. I want to talk logically with a little sprinkle of evidence and reason. Look up this shit. Antifa is not playing for, and Black Lives Matter for you. They're recruiting you. Think of ISIS. How did they recruit people in fucking the Middle East? Al-Qaeda and shit. How did they recruit them? They gave them a bunch of resources and gave them a bunch of rhetoric, and boom, they started fucking getting big. That's what they're doing in our country. They're trying to start up a militant group in our country that has nothing to do with the betterment of you or me. Nothing to do with that. They're giving them resources to fight a war just like they do in the Middle East. Wake the fuck up! I hope you guys watch this whole video. Stay tuned for more content. The doom and gloom's out of the way. I won't get back to a video like this for a while, hopefully. Not for a long time, but until you guys wake up, man, this is the kind of shit I have to put online. See you guys.